we'll just sort of fold it a few times. Get our cutting board, chop off the edges, and make very thin slices. If you make them thin, you end up with spaghetti, and you can make them thick, and you end up with fettuccine. So what we do now is we sort of fumble around with this, figure out where everything is, and unwrap it, and there we go.
So the final real step in making this potato bake is to make the sauce. So we have our essential ingredient, the French onion. We'll just chuck that in there. We're now going to add our thickened cream, so about 23.7 mils per thing. And we've got some good sound effects in the background there. That's exactly what we want. So we'll just beat this up a little bit. Again, it's all in the wrist. All in the wrist. Man, that's a bit chunky. We might chuck some milk in there.
Home brand again.
Home brand, nothing less. Again.
I don't think there is anything less.
I think that's as low as it goes, guys.
Oi, guys. Some respect, please. So we made some sauce. Thickened cream milk and the French onion. Now, basically the final step, we'll just chuck some.
So that's all boiled, nice. And
We boil the potato, we'll just chuck it in there. We'll now also add our other vegetables as well. We'll then try and add this on top. We're just going to sprinkle a bit of grated cheese over the top, and that will be it.
that is looking very good. Now the oven's already preheated.
It has been to 220 degrees. So we'll add this lid,
Nice.
and we are ready to go. So we'll probably give that 15-20 minutes, and then we'll progressively check on it until it's done.
Bev has done his pasta, and you must say it looks pretty good. Even Nathan has to admit that. Hey,
Absolutely, man. That's
It does look
very
pretty
impressive, Bab.
now
I'm loving it.
you can't eat pasta by itself. You can if you're really weird, but we don't. So we're gonna put sauce and stuff on it, and the sauce we're gonna make is a bit of a garlic red wine with turkey meatballs. Sounds good? I think it does.
That sounds good,
Now,
mate.
where does the garlic and red wine come from? Here. That's right. It only costs like $2. I mean, why would you try and make it from scratch? It's stupid. You'd be up all night. I mean, look at the time. We should have completely finished dinner by now. We should be eating dessert in front of the TV. But okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We've got good old turkey mince, and we're gonna make meatballs out of this. Now, the idea of meatball making, it's basically just mince, but you don't want to just cook the mince by itself. You want the mince with a bit of egg and with a bit of spices and stuff. So what we have is a nice array. We've got Italian herbs, we've got cloves, parsley. This is a generic seasonal thing. No one really knows what's inside, but it tastes really good. I would ask Babin to crack this egg, but from his track record, he shouldn't. So 1 egg.
That's perfection. A bit of spillage there, but that's still perfection.
2 eggs. And why not? Oh!
Look at that. The man is not afraid to get his hands dirty.
I'm gonna really regret this.
Yes, you are.
What? Disgusting!
The spices, mate, the spices.
Would you like some in there, mate?
This is why you go out for dinner? Yeah! Salt, please. That's great. Okay,
good.
thank you. That's a bit too much. A bit more than a pinch. A bit of seasonal.
Alright, there we go.
There we go. It's enough.
Tell me when
Thank
to
you.
stop.
Stop.
What next?
I reckon cloves, mate.
Basically, just whatever you have, like
Whatever's in there.
just like
Whatever's in the kitchen.
you know, talcum powder. Oh my goodness! This was done by Bavin. That's all right. We persist. We persist. Will that be enough?
So,
A bit more. Why not?
we should have really gone on the internet and found a recipe for this, but we really feel like winging it. You know, we're science students. We like to improvise.
Okay, that's good.
Alright guys, you've heard about the old wives' tales. You got olive oil, you got salt in your boiling pasta. When you're making homemade pasta, you never use the olive oil. We just go with the salt. Because your pasta is sort of already soft and it's nicely floured, it doesn't stick. So just a good pinch of salt in that boiling water, and that should do it. And we'll just wait for that water to come up really hot. And what the salt does is it lets the water reach a higher temperature before it sort of becomes steam, so your pasta cooks really quickly. So what we'll do is we'll put this in batches, 3 to 5 minutes each. The pasta will float up when it's done, and it's all good.
So here we have our mince. It's prepared as you saw before. I'm just using 2 spoons. That's really all you need. We'll just kind of get this goods to a bit of a ball shape. Doesn't have to be perfect at all, and there it goes.
So we don't put all of it at the same time. What we do is just grab, you know, a whole lot of it and just pop it in like that, and you can sort of put a lot more than that in. Just all of that into the pot. What will happen is, as the pasta cooks, it will rise, it'll come up to the top, and you'll sort of know it's done. It takes a good 3 minutes. It doesn't take long at all.
Pasta sauce would be pretty boring if we didn't put anything in it. So we're putting the meatballs, as you saw before. But I'm also going to put some mushrooms inside.
So we can see it's sort of, you can sort of see all the pasta sort of come up to the top. So what we do is we'll pull this, bring it over to the sink, and just run it through the strainer. And whoa, whooshka! Get all of that out. So we're left with this, and as I said before,
Let's just open the windows a little bit.
we'll just give it a good spray with the olive oil, and that's it. That's pasta. Add it to the basket. Now,
Beautiful. You can see that I've just finished all my meatballs. They don't look exactly like balls, but stuff it. As if they need to look like balls. They go in there. Woo. Here come the mushrooms. Whoa! We're gonna cook the mushrooms in here, and we're gonna pour the sauce just right over that eventually, and it's gonna be good. Fantastic. Oh, look at Bav. He's a hungry man. He's not waiting around. He's getting into it.
sorry.
Here we go. We're gonna add them in. The mushrooms are going well, and there it goes. How good is that? Woo! And you know what? That's actually all there is to it. Cooking is, in some ways, nothing more than mixing. Just mixing and mixing.
And cutting.
And cutting. And the only reason why you actually want things to be cooked is because either they're raw, or they're just better when they're hot. And so, that goes in.
So you're going to throw these meatballs in here right away?
There.
Or?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready, mate.
Coming. Whoa! In they go.
Whoa.
And you mix and mix and mix and mix. And you can imagine how good this is going to be. You watching this at home on YouTube, man, I'm sorry you can't be here. This is going to be so good.
Pretty damn good.
Can you believe it? That used to be flour and egg.
That used to be egg and Tipo 00 flour. And a bit of salt and a bit of tinea between the feet. But we won't go there. Oh, mate.
Pretty good.
Real
thing.
tucker.
Man, oh man. Biting us. Look at it.
We're done.
Look at, we are done.
Look at
Taken hours, a lot of effort, a lot of sweat.
Look at
we are done, and we now get to, man, enjoy the fruits of our labour.
What would you call this? Hey?
Well, we were thinking about that, and we just heard news that Luciana Pavarotti just died. And in honour of Pavarotti, we decided to call this the potato pav.
Potato pav.
Potato pav.
That's very appropriate.
Oh man,
How about this?
we were a big fan of his, and now this we decided to call Italian turkey.
Italian turkey.
That was really what Pavarotti was.
An
Italian
turkey.
turkey.
An Italian turkey, yeah. It's, man, let's tuck in.